You may be familiar with Death Valley because it's home to the lowest point in North America, because the heat of the valley can reach a scorching 134 degrees, or because in 1977 Star Wars filmed this desolate valley to represent the planet Tatooine. While those facts may be what made it culturally famous, Death Valley is a land of surprising complexity and diversity. It's located in the desert of Southern California, less than 100 miles southeast of the highest point in the contiguous U.S., Mount Whitney, at 14,505 feet. The scenery is a series of unique natural formations and historic structures. Tourists and photographers pour into the valley to see the salt flats, cracked earth, painted desert hills, sand dunes, slot canyons, building ruins, and strange rock formations that populate this massive setting. In addition to year-round features, rare rainstorms bring vast fields of wildflowers, transforming the sights. Death Valley has been home to native tribes for at least 1,000 years, but the valley received its English name during the 1849 California Gold Rush, when 13 pioneers and prospectors perished during one early expedition of wagon trains. While gold and silver mining took place in this inhospitable environment, it wasn't until the 1880s that the discovery of a component of many detergents and cosmetics led to a steep rise in resource extraction. After the turn of the century, a shift to tourism began as entrepreneurs began advertising the curative properties of natural hot springs. This shift brought attention to this natural wonder and its importance. On February 11, 1933, President Herbert Hoover proclaimed Death Valley a national monument, setting aside almost 2 million acres of California and a sliver of Nevada. During the Great Depression, the Civilian Conservation Corps developed infrastructure in the new national monument, adding roads, trails, and buildings that still exist today. Finally, on October 31, 1994, the monument was expanded by 1.3 million acres and redesignated as a national park, making it the largest national park in the contiguous United States. Despite the park's massive size and the fact that it has 1,000 miles of paved roads, 93% of the land remains roadless wilderness areas. There are many hard-to-reach places like the racetrack that reward more adventurous travelers, but today I'll be focusing on places that are easily accessible to most visitors. Starting in the north of the park, the two main features are Scotty's Castle and Ubie Hebe Crater. Scotty's Castle is a 2-story Mission Revival and Spanish Colonial Revival style villa located in the Grapevine Mountains. The historic property was severely damaged by flooding in October 2015 and is not currently open to the public. The crater is a large volcanic crater, 600 feet deep and a half a mile across. It is easily viewed from the parking area at its edge, but a 1.5-mile trail around the rim will reveal several smaller craters. Heading south, the Mesquite Flat sand dunes are the largest dune field in the park. This dune field includes 3 types of dunes: crescent, linear, and star-shaped. The dunes can be explored and climbed, but hiking on sand dunes is very strenuous, so be aware that the neighboring Stovepipe Wells Village is a great place to obtain food and water. Continuing south, Furnace Creek is like a small town, offering dining, accommodations, and creature comforts not available throughout the rest of Death Valley. Many visitors use this area as a base camp for their adventures. Most of the well-known features of Death Valley are located south of Furnace Creek. Water Basin, at 282 feet below sea level, is the lowest spot in North America. A short quarter-mile trail brings you to the polygon salt formations that define the landscape. This is a favorite spot to watch sunset as the sky illuminates the salt formations and surrounding mountains. Artist Drive is a one-way 9-mile road that passes through eroded, colorful desert hills. A stop at Artist Palette allows you to climb the hills and experience the otherworldly painted desert features. Devil's Golf Course is an immense area of rock salt, shaped by the weather into jagged spires. Listen carefully and you'll hear tiny pops and pings. The sound is billions of tiny salt crystals bursting apart as they expand and contract in the heat. Zabriskie Point, the most famous viewpoint in the park, overlooks the golden-colored badlands of the Furnace Creek Formation. Visitors can enjoy the view or take the hike from the point around the Badlands Loop. Connector trails lead to Golden Canyon, Gower Gulch, and Red Cathedral. Zabriskie Point is most popular at sunrise and sunset. Dante's View, at 5,475 feet, offers one of the best sunrises in the park. It's also the viewpoint where Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi viewed Mos Eisley. While that list of sights and attractions was in no way comprehensive, it will allow first-timers to maximize their experience in the park. Death Valley has 9 park-run campgrounds, most of which are first-come, first-serve, although several close during the brutal summer months. There are also 3 privately run campgrounds and 5 resorts and hotels. Food and gasoline are limited within Death Valley, and additional accommodations, restaurants, and gas stations can only be found about an hour drive outside the park. The best time to visit Death Valley is from November through March. Summer temperatures can be dangerous in the park's lower elevations. Even during spring and autumn, the heat can be unbearable for most people. The high peaks are a pleasant escape from the heat in summer, but are usually covered with snow in winter and spring. Due to the dry climate of Death Valley, you must drink more water here than in other places, even in the cooler winter months. Always carry adequate water. Most hiking routes are cross-country, up canyons, or along ridges. Trails range from short, handicap-accessible boardwalks to Telescope Peak, a difficult 14-mile round-trip hike that has 3,000 feet of elevation gain. While Death Valley National Park is a destination that any outdoor enthusiast needs to see, keep in mind that it is also a dangerous and unforgiving place. Plan ahead before making your visit, and this wonderland of natural and historic features will treat you to an experience unlike any other.